Lovelies, it's Heather. Gonna go ahead and shoot tonight's video. This is a little bit more of my normal time to be doing it, to be making my video, but anyways, I'm kind of tired. Not really too bad. Today I had to block Nomon on on my main Facebook account because I'm just tired of his attitude, basically. He reminds me a lot of my ex, like my husband. And I can't even say ex-husband, unfortunately, because that bastard won't even fucking divorce me. Oh my god. My life has been complete and total shit. It's like a shit show, basically. And I'm always trying to catch up and clean up, if you will, and straighten things and every time I get close to, oh God, I'm actually doing it. Oh God, this is actually going good. Oh God, this is, it just all fucking falls apart so far. So hopefully this time, whenever I get things straightened out, it won't do that again, because I've had too fucking much of that. And then I've got to learn to also not self-sabotage. And then that's another thing too, with Nomon coming into the picture when he did. And even Honest before him and everything. Like, I don't know, I mean, it makes you so paranoid to a degree. You're kind of like, I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to talk to anybody. I'm just going to hide away, because it always seems like there is something, bigger than you, which technically there is. There's evil in the world, there's the devil, there's, negative energy and all this. But it always seems like there is something evil that is trying to sidetrack you, trying to deviate, pull you away from your ultimate goals in life and stuff like that. And it is like a constant. And the thing is it can be your best friend, it can be your sister, it can be your brother, it can be your mother, it can be even your grandmother, it can be your neighbor, it can be your landlord, it could be the maintenance people, it could be, any fucking body to a degree. But they're always going to show up, like when you're at this high energy level, if you will, of focusing on yourself, or at least this is the way that it's been for me. You finally get enough rest. You're finally, like de-stressed enough, I guess you could say, that you're like, yes, I'm going to do this. Yes, I have the energy to do it. And the moment you walk out the door to go do what the fuck ever it is that you intend on fucking doing, that is when something always happens. That is when somebody always asks something or does something or this and that and everything. And on one hand, you can look at it in the positive light, which is like where people talk about, for instance, like, oh, well, maybe the reason that your car didn't start that morning is God was saving you from a car wreck, happening, or God was saving you from this, or God was saving you from that. So it's like, okay, and so in that, you're supposed to take comfort, you're not supposed to stress, and stuff like that. Sorry, there's a moth flying around in my room, flying around in my room. But another thing, too, is when it seems like it's bad. When it's a bad distraction. When it's something that is taking more out of you than it is bringing you joy or comfort, or I guess is the way that you can tell if it's like a good thing or a bad thing. But then it's really hard to tell that to me, just me personally, because of my trauma mind, if you will, because the shit I've been through, because the shit I went through as a damn kid. And so it's like I'm constantly, stressed out. I constantly don't trust anybody. I constantly don't trust one situation to the next situation. I mean, I'm not sitting here like freaking out, and like shaking and like a nervous wreck, but I'm sitting here and I'm like, somebody could bust in the goddamn, back door or front door right now. Somebody could do this. The house could catch fire, God forbid, something could go wrong. This could happen, that could happen. And even though I'm not like obsessively thinking about it, it's like I'm still in this heightened sense of awareness, I guess you'd say, of my surroundings. I mean, I'm not sitting here going, oh my God, the house is going to catch on fire probably. And oh my God, what am I going to have to do? And oh my God, and this and that. I'm not doing that. But it's like, I'm just constantly like a soldier that's ready for war, basically. Like you're just constantly ready, you're just kind of like waiting for that call, and you never know when it's going to come and stuff like that. And I'm having to reprogram my mind basically and get out of that. And then here I am, like my grandmother went and stayed with her niece during the month of May and let me stay here. And granted, I only had about $100 for groceries. That was tough. I ain't even gonna lie. But I could have had about 150 if I wouldn't have took 50 of it and put in gas money and took Eddie to the movies and rode around town just because I had the car, and I just got my license in November and I can't drive as much as I'd like to, and so, and how do you learn things? You practice, you try and all that. Even though I've had quite a few people honk at me. Because apparently I'm not the best driver, but I'm not the worst. I haven't had any wrecks. Hadn't, hit nobody or anything. And up until the time that I got my license, I drove on and off several times. I've drove many different fucking vehicles, even though I don't know that much about vehicles, to be honest. But I know the basics of driving a vehicle. But anyways, that's just... Every time I say that, I think about the truck, and I'm like, I miss the truck. I like trucks. But anyways, or at least for the most part, I do. But anyways, and I don't know how to drive a stick shift. I have no freaking idea. And then my husband, one time when I was in his truck with him, he tried to get me to back up the truck, and like I started freaking out, and he had to like reach in and put the brake on with his hand or what the fuck ever, cause yeah, and that was his semi truck. I was like, dude, do not, no. He's like, you can back it up. I just need it backed up a few feet. And he's like, I'm gonna teach you how to drive, and that way we can, be team drivers and shit like that. And I was like, I don't know about that. But, anyways, I do have to say he gave me one compliment, though, that stuck with me. Out of all the insults that he gave me, he told me one time that I was a better driver than the majority of his students that he teaches. So, he told me that I was very aware in comparison to the others. Which kind of, when people kind of holler at me or honk at me or something, and they're like, and then they can't judge distance as not as best as me, but boy, that's fucked up right there. That's just fucked up of a sentence. But it as well as I can do whatever sometimes, it startles me. That's like even my husband one time when we were together. This was like 2012, and I was driving the truck, and I pulled in a parking space, and to pull into it, I had to cut the wheel real deep because the way the parking space was. And he's like, whoa, 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 and everything. Or no, I take it back. We wasn't in the truck that night. We was in my grandmother's car. But anyways, he was like, whoa, 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 and everything. And I just went ahead and parked, even though he was startling the shit out of me. I still stayed, even though the inside of me screaming at him, but it's not really. I just went ahead and was like, I've got to park, and like there's other vehicles around me, and I'm not doing anything wrong. It was like my own sense of stability, even though he was, over there freaking out, and I parked, and, I put the car in the park, and, I cut the engine off, and I just looked at him, and he's like, oh my God. And I'm like, what? And he's like, I didn't think we was going to make it. And he's like, I thought you was going to hit them. I thought this, I thought that, and I was like, and I just sat there, and like tears started rolling down my face, and he's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, you just proved to me that you don't trust me, you know? And I'm like, and I didn't hit anybody. I didn't tap anybody. I didn't even come close to it. I was like, I can judge distance. And I was like, you know, you're the one that even helped me with judging distance because I had you get out of the vehicle like one time when we was at our apartment. I was like, okay, go stand here, go stand there, go stand here, you know, and let me park while you're standing here and let me park while you're standing there. That way I know what the fuck I'm actually seeing and I know how legitimate my truths are or if I need to work on them for as far as my judgment of distance. And he's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. And I'm like, you scared me because you're not trusting me, you know, and you're making me feel bad about myself. And I'm like, we're alive. We didn't hit anybody. I'm like, so shut up. You know, I'm like, we're good. And I was mad at him. I ain't even gonna lie for a minute after that. I was so mad. But he apologized, so. Oh my God. My life. But anyways, so back to things happening and my grandmother being gone the month of May. The month of May, you know, I knew she was gonna, like, the weeks leading up, I'm like, yeah, you know, she's gonna be gone and I can hook up my TV properly, basically, you know, in my bedroom, and I can go out in the building and straighten it out and do some things out there. You know, I was thinking I could make my home living more comfortable because it's hard for me to do it during the daylight hours because of her. She's awake then. And when she's awake, she's just very nagging, basically. I mean, it's bad. She wants to know what you're doing every second that you're doing something. And the thing is, too, is she's very dominant over this is her property, even though she tries to act like she's not. But she is, and that's where my dad got it from. And I know that she's like that because literally I can do anything, even back in the one bedroom that I'm permitted to be my damn bedroom, and she wants to know what the hell it was. You know, like she can hear a knocking noise or she can hear the TV playing and she wants to know what movie I was watching. You know, like she's very controlling like that. And so I can't make myself any more comfortable slowly over time, you know, of just moving in here in March, you know. And here it is July, and you'd figure that I'd be settled, but I'm not because there's not enough room for my stuff. My aunt still supposedly, I don't even know about that shit. Supposedly my aunt's gonna come get her stuff. She was going to come and get it before I moved in. She didn't. She was going to come and get it 2 weeks after I moved in. She didn't. And after 2 weeks, I had to rearrange, you know, or not rearrange, but I had to get her shit out of this room that I'm staying in. So that way there's no confusion that none of her belongings are no longer in this one room. And that way it's just my stuff in here and maybe like 2 drawers full of my grandmother's crap, you know, but the rest of the stuff in here is ultimately all mine except for, you know, her pieces of furniture. But the drawers were emptied out and everything. Whatever I emptied out, I put in the other bedroom, stuff like that, you know. And then there's this building that I tried to fix up when I was last living here. I was going to make it a playhouse for my kid. But me and my grandmother started bickering around that time, so I realized, oh fuck, I gotta move out. Because my grandmother threatened to kill me in front of my daughter. It scared my daughter, blah, 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 you know. So I was like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. I got the money. I was gonna stay here and put the money towards here. I was gonna put the money towards this place, you know, towards my home, if you will. That's the way I was looking at it, you know. Because that's what you do, you know. You put your money towards where the fuck you live, you know, if you're trying to fix where the fuck you live, if there's problems, you know. That's even like when I was living in my damn apartment. I don't know how many, I bought like 4 or 5 damn tubes of caulking to put in that damn shitting ass apartment. I bought 3 bottles of great stuff. And what it is it's a foam installation to fill in all these fucking gaps and shit. Cleaning supplies. Oh my god. some of the filth, when I moved in, and who lived there before, and nobody had lived there for a while before I moved in, and stuff like that. And anyways, you put into what is yours, like where you're living, where you're residing. And that's what I was planning on doing a long time ago when I lived here, when I first got my job. But she wouldn't let me. Every time I went to go do something, she's like, no, 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 and stuff like that. Then she said that about killing me. I was like, we're getting the fuck out. We did. So the building was here, and it was all cleaned out, basically. And it was half painted, basically. And I actually sanded the walls down some. And I didn't go about painting it properly, but I really didn't give a shit, because nobody's ever supported. Every time I try to do something properly, instead of people being like, yeah, okay, I'll help you with that, instead, everybody in my family goes, why? But why? But why do you want to do that? And even when I give them the reason, just like dealing with this little building out here, they're like, but why? Why do you want to do that? And I'm like, because I want to build it up and make it a playhouse for Ava, for my kid. And they're like, but why? And I'm like, because I want to, because my kid wants a playhouse, because I would like to do that for my kid. Like, why do I have to fucking justify everything that I do to you all the fucking time? And then even when I do, you still sit there like some dumbfounded Forrest Gump finger up your ass person, and you're like, but why? And like, I'm sorry, I just get really passionate about this because I've dealt with it so long, and it's like, can because be good enough? Or do I even have to say because? Can I just say, I'm going to paint this building, and y'all be like, okay? Can y'all ever just say okay to what the fuck I'm doing? But no, my family can't. But anyways, so this building was basically empty. My aunt had a bunch of stuff in it. And so whenever we moved in, I moved in, but Eddie helped me. Whenever we was moving stuff in and off the truck and everything, I just put all my aunt's shit in the back of the building. And my grandmother just told me this past week that my aunt is wanting to come and get her stuff. And I'm like, great. And I'm like, well, wake me up if she shows up. I'm like, because I got to go out there and I got to pull all my shit out of the building just so she can get to hers. And I'm like, but okay. Like, it's just, and I'm like, why couldn't she come get it before, And, but then I get time and life and stuff like that. And so I'm just like, okay, but my grandmother said this, like, I don't know how many damn times since I've been living here, and I'm tired of hearing that my aunt is fixing to come get her stuff, and then my aunt never shows up, And I'm just like, and so it's like, an anxiousness inside of me of, one day I'm going to get a knock on the door, maybe within the next week or two, because she just mentioned it this past week, that I need to get out there and, pull my stuff out so that way my aunt can get to her stuff. And then I have to be out there because the way that I put things, and there's so much breakable stuff and all kinds of things. And so I'm like, is somebody going to knock on the door one day? And so far nobody has. And I've been here all these months waiting for a knock on the door. Hey, your aunt's here to come get her stuff, And then I don't know, because my grandmother's such a busybody and such a gossipy ass person, basically, I don't even know if it's the truth or if it's a fucking lie just to keep me on eggshells. I really don't. I don't know if my aunt even gives a shit what she has here or not, or if it's just nothing important to her right now. I mean, I wouldn't think it was too damn important since she left it so many months ago. I mean, it's been basically almost a year, I believe, since she moved out, or it's coming up close to a year or something like that, because she was moved out for like 6 months before I fucking moved in. But anyways, so back to the other shit, dealing with timing and my grandmother finally being gone, and I was like, woohoo, and I was like, I can do what I need to do, and she's not gonna be here, and I was like, I can go out here and rearrange these buildings out here. I've been trying to do this shit. I do this shit every time I live with her. It's just like my dad and his fucking building, which I found out he got tore down, which I also found out that they got a kitten and a dog, and my kids living there, and they're trying to fucking compete with me, basically. I have 2 cats and 2 dogs. Technically, I have a 3rd dog. I just don't know where the hell he's at. He's been missing since September. And I want him back. I mean, he's my boy, but I don't know where the fuck he's at. And I know he would fucking enjoy the shit out of living up here, Like, he would, oh my God. Like, he would run this lake like I don't know what. Because there's a lake that's nearby. And he would just have a fucking field day, basically. And so, anyways, damn, I miss him. But, anyways, this has always been the thing. This is always my parents. This is always my family. Always competing. Always seeing me as competition on some level. And yet, I'm just trying to fucking live life. How the fuck am I your damn competition? I guarantee you, if I do have the money to go out and buy me a vehicle, whatever color, make, model, or whatever that vehicle is, my parents are going to go out within a certain amount of time of if I, when I do get my first vehicle, they're going to go out and else get a vehicle that's the same color, the same make, or whatever, the same company. That's what they're going to do because they're insane like that. Like, I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. I gotta. Ooh, God, I don't know. I'm so mad. I'm so mad about so much. But anyways, so my grandmother, she left for the month of May, and she was gone. And instead, I got wrapped up into talking to Anas the whole time. And I took the leisure in it, I guess you could say. Because I could have been out here, putting in the work for these buildings. And, that's the thing. My dad, he had this building. And me and my sister were told during the summer to go out and straighten it up for him. And so we get butter bowls and we put all the different sizes of screws and all the different sizes of bolts and nuts and, washers and all this and everything. And all these fucking butter bowls. I swear to God, one time we counted them and there was like 150 butter bowls full of nails and screws and bolts and, washers and, just all kinds of shit. And the thing is this dumbass my dad would still go out and work on something and then claim that he couldn't find, a 3/4 inch fucking screw. And even though the butter bowl's sitting right there on a goddamn shelf and it has 3/4 of an inch, written on the outside of it, and you look in and you see, oh, this is the screws. Oh, there's the nails. Oh, there's the this, Oh my God. And then before the end of summer, he'd end up going in there and having a temper tantrum and throwing everything around in the damn building. And that's the reason I believe that he had it tore down, is because he knows that I made a video talking about how many times I went out there. And I went out there even past what I was supposed to. Me and my sister were told to straighten out that building I don't know how many fucking times. And finally, my mom was like, no, they're not doing it again. You've went out there, this makes like the 3rd time, and destroyed all the work that they put in. And they would be out there for like 2 weeks cleaning up your fucking mess, and then you'd go out there and you'd just wreck it again. And so my mom kind of put her foot down and was like, no, but also my sister was driving to her boyfriend's house all the time, so she didn't have to deal with the shit, basically, of this is your summer chore, And so 2 summers after, I went and I pulled everything. I took a tarp and put it in the fucking yard, and I pulled everything out that goddamn building. Every fucking thing. I swept it, I cleaned it, I dusted it, I cleaned the fucking toolboxes, I got the rust off of them if I could, I cleaned everything. I even cleaned the fucking hammers and the goddamn screwdrivers. I put them in this, what was it? Was it CLR? Or I don't know. I put it in some shit, to get the rust and stuff that was caked up. And I went in there and it looked amazing. And both times he just fucking wrecked it. And then it started falling apart, the building did, over the past like 10 years. And he's been like, He was like after me the first 2 years it happened. Well, we need to go out there and we need to fix this and we need to do that. And it done had problems falling apart before, and I'd went out and helped him with it. I remember 2 or 3 times as a kid climbing up on the roof of it, to nail, pieces of fucking metal back to keep the damn water out and all this shit and everything. And he's always talked about how he's been wanting it tore down for the past 20 years anyways, but he hadn't done it. And so now he's doing it. And then that's the thing. Now he's doing it. They don't have the money, yet they went and got a new car, yet they filed taxes and got back like $7,000 fucking dollars. They claimed my daughter again. They've claimed my daughter over half of her fucking life. That is my kid. And they've claimed her when she's not even been living with them. And yet they're filing bankruptcy. I mean, they're just... They've learned to manipulate the system well, I guess, is the best way that I can think of to fucking word it. And then they've taken my kid, and that's all that she is to them. She's just a tax break. That's all she is to them. And I've even told her that. I'm like, you realize that they claimed you for the first, 5 years of your life, and that they got extra money, and that's how they kept paying for their fucking house, basically. That's how they kept making all these payments for the fucking shit that they're making these payments for. That's how they caught up when they were behind, is because the tax break of you. And I'm like, yet here I am, and they wouldn't even help me get a job. Yet here I am, and they wouldn't even help me get my license. Yet here I am, and they've never got me a fucking vehicle. They've never even gave a shit to. God, I hate life. But anyway, so back to the buildings and the buildings here. I've went out every time I've lived here, and I've straightened up these buildings. And there's this one building that's got a sliding door on it. Because it's an old piece of a trailer is what it is. It's just a dilapidated piece of shit, but it's still my dilapidated piece of shit, like that, like, redneck pride, America, country, like, but anyway, so, it has a section that's further back that's all fucked up and mangled, basically. And I've went in there and I've redone that building I don't know how many times. Well, it looks like my dad went in there in all honesty. Or maybe it was my aunt. Or maybe it was one of my cousins. I don't know. Because it's got the cheap little, what is it? I don't know what it's called. Anyways, it's where, I don't know what they are. They're like those foam sheets, but they're not. It's almost like, what is it called? It's almost like sheetrock, anyways. But it's just like an insulated, tile, basically. And it's huge, it's probably 3 foot by 4 foot, or something like that. Or 3 foot by 5 foot, it's these I don't know, just these nasty, disintegrating, probably asbestos fucking, made fucking ceiling pieces that set in this metal frame, and you just put them up there. And anyways, somebody has went in there and knocked every damn one of them down. And even though my grandmother tries to say that the storm did it, I know damn good and well ain't no storm done that. There's no fucking way in hell, because there's been problems with it before, but I've went in there and I've fixed that shit up I don't know how many times, all except for that back room, because my grandmother would scream at me and tell me not to go back there, because one time they found a snake skin and she's convinced that there's a snake back there. And I'm like, well, that's when you fish things out with, a pole, or a rod, you take a damn broom handle if you got to, put a hook on the end of it, and fish all the shit out like that. And, if you find a snake, you gonna find him, and you gonna have enough distance between you and him to get the fuck up out of there. But she'd never let me straighten that piece up. Anyways, I've went out there and I've straightened up that building every damn time that I've lived here, and every damn time that I've done it, everybody else in the fucking family has destroyed it. I would end up looking and everything would just be thrown around. And so right now, my dining room table that my husband, one piece of furniture that he bought when we were together, the only piece of furniture he bought when we were together, is sitting just right there in the fucking entrance. Because I couldn't even, it's such a dilapidated shit pile mess in there, because the way everybody's just done what the fuck ever. And that's even like my sister. Um, there are toys out there, children, baby toys, that were my oldest nieces. And my sister wouldn't give them to me for my daughter to play with when I was living here and they were just out in the building and my daughter was 3. Oh, no, no, and one of them was a washing machine and dryer. And my sister wouldn't let me go out there and get it for my daughter even though she was asking for it. And she's like, Mommy, what's that? And why can't I play with it? And I'm like, because it's your nieces. I mean, not your nieces, but it's my niece. It's your cousins. And your aunt says that you can't have it. And my niece never even played with it. It literally has sat there and collected dust all these fucking years. Or it did. I mean, she might have came and got it at some point in time, but that's just how fucked up everybody is in this damn family. They just... I don't know. I don't see how people do that. I don't see how... I don't understand how you have an organizational space or a storage unit and you don't properly take care of it. And I get that there's many, 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 many people that do that, but I'm not one of those many people. That's even like my damn parents' storage unit that they got. I went and straightened that son of a bitch out. I don't know how many fucking goddamn times. And son of a bitch fucking... And my dad. And he'll go just to annoy the shit out of me when I used to have my stuff in there, and here's my name, Heather's and Ava's, in big letters, and he would go in there and cut open our boxes, just to piss me off, saying that he was looking for my mom's stuff. My mom's stuff is in the boxes that have her name on it. My stuff and my daughter's stuff is in the boxes that have mine and my daughter's name on it. Like, are you so fucking illiterate that you can't even fucking read your daughter and your granddaughter's name? And I know that you're not, so shut the fuck up. Stop goddamn lying. And then even a ploy or what the fuck ever that, like, because it's just the drama of them trying to get me involved in their shit. My dad gave me a Keurig coffee maker that I didn't even fucking want, that was his, that he didn't even fucking want, other than he wanted it to look cool, to be with the in crowd when it first came out. So he was with the in crowd. Then, 2 months after having it, he's like, it's too hard to take care of. It's too hard to clean. And I'd rather have just an old coffee pot. Well, he would still use it to make hot chocolate for the kids when they were over. Well, my daughter loves hot chocolate. And so he was like, well, here, I'll give it to you so you can make hot chocolate for your kid. And I'm like, okay. But the thing is the K-cups or any of the cups, they're relatively expensive. And when you're having to buy all your groceries at the beginning of the month to last you the whole month, you can't sit there and go, oh, I'm going to buy all these fruits and vegetables, unless they're canned. You can't, like, you have to make meals that are going to last and shit like that. And so sometimes I wouldn't be able to buy her anything, and so the damn coffee thing would just sit there and nobody be using it. And then he would give us this raspberry flavored shit that he would get on clearance, and neither one of us liked it, and so it was just sitting there. But anyways, so now I moved in here, and the Keurig is sitting in the kitchen. And my grandmother's like, oh, your dad said that he's going to come and he's going to get that, and all this and everything. And that's the way that it's always been. Anything that they ever tell me that they give me or let me borrow or what the fuck ever, they end up taking it back. And if they don't take it back, see, that's the only thing, in all honesty, that they have that they can take back from me. Now, my mom could maybe say that they could take the headboard from me that I have right now, because it was my granny's. But my granny told me flat out that it's mine, so, like, and they can have their piece of shit kids' furniture, bedroom suit that, if they fucking want it, but they're gonna have to come and fucking get it, basically. But other than that, everything else that I own is actually mine. I don't know, like, But then again, I guess maybe not. But then again, yes, it is, because my parents, they bought me a lot. Yes, I'm not going to sit here and fucking lie and act like they hadn't, okay? They could come and take all my CDs, and for the mass majority, 90% of them, they bought for me. My DVD collection, they can't lay their goddamn hands on it. They may have bought 2 DVDs out of my DVD collection. They can't lay their hands on it. That shit's mine. My clothes, they could probably take away 50% of my clothes. My couch, it's mine. My entertainment center, it's mine. My computer desk, it's mine. And that's the thing, too, is whenever it's mine, they are more inclined to be, if they're helping me move it or anything, they are more inclined to be abusive or neglectful, I guess you'd say, when helping me to move stuff that is mine versus helping me to move stuff that is theirs that they gave to me. Like, they're just so fucking hypocritical and narcissistic and stuck up, and I can't. I'm so tired. I'm so tired of them. God, I'm so tired of them. I know I shouldn't say all this shit, but damn. But any fucking ways, so back to May and all that, and the buildings, and I was gonna try to get the buildings together, but it's always been a lost cause, and so Honest maybe kind of saved me from doing that and doing a lost cause type situation. Because you can't help these motherfuckers that are my family that don't want help. You can't help them. I've spent 30 years trying to get them to, like, wake up, it's like, wake up, realize that, I don't go out and waste time organizing buildings just because I'm like, hey, I'm some reclusive, like, just, like, mystical person that's just like, yeah, let me waste my time on this shit because it's just so fun, And I'm not like sitting there getting my damn jollies off doing the shit either. It's fucking work. It takes time. It takes a lot of time to organize a fucking building, especially when dumbasses have went in there and they've just fucking destroyed everything. And they just keep doing it, And you're just like, I'm trying to fucking help you. Like my dad, all this time, he's been like, I don't know where this is at. I don't know where that's at. And I've even drawn the man a fucking map. Like a map. Like if you were to look down from the sky onto the storage unit, and it's like all the Christmas stuff is in the back left-hand corner. All the Easter stuff is in the back right-hand corner. And then in the middle left-hand, area is your Halloween stuff, and on the right, middle, like, area is, like, your appliances that you don't use anymore, and God only knows why the hell you've kept them, and they don't work, and they're falling apart, but you want to keep them, so there's where they are, and like, and he still goes in there and just rips everything apart and does what the fuck he wants to. And that's the whole damn family. They all have this mentality. I've never seen, it's basically to a degree, it's like, I know that if me and my family, if God or somebody was to come down and be like, okay, I'm going to give you a business. Here's a business. Here's everything you need. Here's your merchandise. Here's your store. Here's your list for your merchandise, when it's going to be delivered, when it's going to be dropped off, when this is going to happen, here's your area for storage, here's your this, here's your that, here's your outfits, or whatever, your wardrobe, for work, here's your this, here's your that. I swear to God, I think I'd be the only damn one that'd be able to even make any fucking sense of the shit, because I guarantee you that they would be sitting fucking arguing for like 2 goddamn weeks on where the fuck to, let's say, put the bread, Somebody would say, I want the bread up front because, the bread needs to be up front. But somebody else would say, oh, you don't want the bread right up front because, the air hitting it more when people are coming in, making it stale, possibly this and that. And bread is a necessity item that most people like to go for, so you don't really want it at the front of the store because it might be more likely to get stole off the shelves, instead you want to put something up there that's not as likely to be a staple top food item, and I mean, like, you'd have all these different fucking arguments of why the fuck the bread should be here or there or there or here, And these people would literally argue the shit into the fucking ground or sit and cross their arms and get mad and everything. And I would be the motherfucker that would lose my goddamn shit with everybody. Basically, probably come in with a damn gun and be like, listen, the store is opening in 2 damn days. Y'all have had 2 fucking weeks to argue about where to put shit, and y'all ain't figured out where to put a goddamn thing. Not even your fucking opinions or your damn mouths, like. So, I'd come in with probably a damn gun and be like, so get the fuck out, because I'm going to arrange the store in the next 2 days completely and totally by myself, or just with the help of my friends, because they actually know how to just agree for the bigger benefit and the bigger picture of the store is opening in 2 fucking days. And then, when the store's open, then you can come back in. Then you can come to work. Then you can get your paycheck. And then we can discuss, maybe the reason that the bread shouldn't have been put over here and it should have been put over there. Because right now, we need a fucking decision made. That's me. That's me. And the rest of my family is all, I don't know. I don't feel like it. I don't agree. I don't think so. I don't believe that. Well, this is my way. Well, my way's better than your way. And your way's, and I'm just like, yeah. That's pitiful. That's fucking pitiful. That's even like my kid. They're teaching my kid to be like that. That's even like her damn room and her not getting her room together for 2 years, basically, when we was in the damn apartment. Here is a blank room, and here is all your things. Do what you want with it. I know you're 9, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, let's see. I think she was 9 when we moved in. Oh, God. Yeah, she was 9. Here's all your stuff. Put it where you want to. Here's the tape. Here's the, what is it? It's like a putty that my husband introduced me to. It's like this blue putty, poster putty or whatever that, I didn't even fucking know existed. And it does no damage to the walls, and you can hang posters and pictures, and kids adore it. They just put a little piece on the back and hang it on the wall. Pull it down, no damage to the wall. But I'm like, here's this, here's the tape, if you need a nail or a screw put in the wall, let me know. We can only use picture hooks. Let me know. I'll hang it. And I'm like, here's all your stuff. And it literally just looked like, a mess the whole time up until a year and a half of living there. And I was just like, and her birthday was coming up, and I was like, I'm gonna straighten her room up for her birthday. That's gonna be one of her birthday presents from me, is to walk in one day and she actually has a room instead of just this pile of boxes. And then I did that, and then she didn't even appreciate it. And I'm like, who are you and what have you done with my child? To a degree, because when she was 5 and 6 and 7 and all the way up until we moved back in here, when she was 7, when we were living with my husband, and even before when she was younger and we were living here with my grandmother and she had her room. When we was living here with my grandmother, she's the one that picked, this is my sock drawer, this is my Barbie doll drawer, this is my, what are they? The Zoobles, drawer. This is my Polly Pockets drawer. This is my that and that. And I just, walk past her room, and she's a little thing, 4 and 5 years old, and I'd be like, baby, you need to pick up your toys. And she'd just, in 15, 30 minutes, she'd have her room clean. Now, there's a few times, which, she's a kid, there's a few times that her room was completely destroyed. And it's usually an aftermath of my niece coming and spending the night, and they just go in there and throw toys around basically the whole damn room. And probably about 5 times she cleaned it herself. Probably about 3 times she cleaned it with my niece. And then probably about 2 or 3 times I went in there and I cleaned it, just to clean it up for her. But when we was with my husband, she was like, Mommy, I don't know what drawer to put anything in, and I need your help. She surrendered that to me because she had more toys at that point in time. And I was like, okay. And so I sat with her literally like every day for 3 days after we moved in. And I was like, why don't we put this in this drawer? Because this, that, because like, she has, this little thing that my mom bought. Yes, I'll admit. And it's got these colored drawers. And I'm like, well, why don't we put all your Polly Pockets in your purple drawer here? Because Polly Pocket starts with a P and purple starts with P, and so that way you'll always remember, where your Polly Pockets belong. They belong in your purple drawer, like stuff like that. And so she was so fucking good at it. Well, then she had friends that's come over and play with her, and they wouldn't know where stuff went back. And Ava, I started noticing, was she'd get very frustrated when her friends would just shove her toys into inner drawer. And so we had to teach her friends where things properly went, basically. And it's like, get it out, remember which drawer you get the toy out of, and that way whenever you go to put it back up. And these kids would try to weasel out of helping to clean and stuff. So then I had to like say that they couldn't come over and play anymore because Ava was just so frustrated because she liked having an organized room. She enjoyed it. But then like something happened between when, I don't know, the last little bit that we were living here. Maybe she's such a mama's girl that if I'm not there to applaud her every second for everything that she does, because I think it's when I started working. When I started working, she didn't see the use in continuing to be an organized little girl. Because I couldn't sit there and applaud her for it because I was gone 8, 10, 12 hours a day. And then I come home and, her room be clean. I'll be like, oh yeah, it looks good. Oh yeah, you did a good job. Oh yeah, this and that. But instead, before I'd be like, oh yeah, oh wow, you really remembered which drawer that goes in. Oh wow, and this and that. I couldn't praise her anymore, like there's only so much time in the day. And so I guess that's what happened. I honestly don't know. I can't speak for her. I just know that she was not the same the years before. She was very organized and very good and very decent at cleaning up. And she just got disorganized and didn't care. And then she got her pets and she cared about them now. All the way up until the last year she was home. And then she got to where she didn't even give a shit about them, basically. Maybe I overpraised her too much, and so that's why she's so mad at me, is because I'm not constantly praising her for the good that she does. Because I'm trying to teach her that not everybody else is going to be like that, or even if they are, that you can't, like, you have to have faith in yourself. But anyways, God, I could talk forever about things. But, so I took leisure time basically while my grandmother was gone and talked to Anas like all that time, and literally just a few days before like she kind of came back and stuff, he wrote me and he's like, I know I no longer care about you. And I mean, it was just like somebody throwing on, it's like somebody throwing on the brakes, or whatever. Like, you're just like, what? And it just devastates you. And it did. Like, it devastated me. It hurt me really bad, because, I mean, I still like him, but I don't know how much I don't know. Like, and I still like him as a person, even though I still want to find reasoning for why he said that, and most people would just chalk it up to he's an asshole, and they just like let it be, they'd be like, he's just an asshole, he was a selfish asshole, just let it go. And I'm trying, and I'm trying to still be his friend because I still like talking to him. He's really funny, or at least I think he is. Like, he's just, I don't know. Just his sense of humor. He makes me feel good, basically. Not all the time, but he makes me feel good. And then after that, I met Nomon, and then my Facebook got flooded, and I'm like, what the fuck has happened? Who the fuck has set me up? Who the fuck has done something? Who the fuck has stole a picture and put it somewhere, or not even a full-on picture of me, but maybe just a picture of my face, or who has said what, or did Honest say something, or is it, I'm like, what the fuck happened? What the fuck happened for me to get flooded? Who did I friend? And then all of a sudden everybody's like, hey, new friend, And I have like 700 people on my damn Facebook that I don't even fucking know who the hell they are. And I've got like 1,000 more fucking friend requests. And I'm sitting here just trying to go through the damn 700. And there's a few good people. But for me to sit there and, like, maybe there might be 5 or 10 good people out of all those 700. Or at least that's the way that I feel. Because the ones that I end up talking to, they are always talking about sex or my WhatsApp number. I don't have WhatsApp. I'm never going to have WhatsApp. Never. Like, never, ever. I don't think I will ever have one. And then to even find out 2 people on my contact list have one. And I was just like, wow. And that speaks a lot on them, in my opinion. And then my paranoia is like, are they mad at me? Did they have something to do with this? Because all these people are asking for a WhatsApp number, and I get that that's the thing and stuff like that. But I'm like, people, you sent me a fucking friend request, and you have no idea that I'm not even a person that has WhatsApp, and that's the only reason that you sent me a damn friend request. Like, can you wake the fuck up? Can you realize how ignorant you're coming across as? You're sending me a friend request because you think that I'm gonna give you a WhatsApp phone number, or because you think that I'm gonna, like, send you a picture of me nude or naked or some shit, and I don't fucking do that. You're sending me friend requests because you think I have Instagram and Instagram followers, or you think I'm just some sex person or what the fuck ever, and it's like, Jesus Christ, do you realize how idiotic you're coming across as? Like, I just can't. I don't know. But anyways, so I was talking to Nomon all this time, and I've enjoyed speaking to him, but he just reminds me way too much of my ex-husband, and I just can't. I just can't. And in all honesty, I've talked to Honest once or twice about how he reminds me of my kid's dad, because his playful side, to a degree, and it makes me, think back on my past, both of them, and I'm like, there's no way in hell I want to talk to Nomon dealing with the fact that he reminds me of my ex-husband. I'm still trying to get divorced from my ex-husband and make him an actual ex-husband. Why the fuck would I want to talk to somebody who sounds like him? And the thing is that he said today that I was just like, I'm done. I've been telling him for weeks, basically, that my phone is, or for a week now, that my phone is fucked up. I think the battery's fried, basically. The system might be fried, too. And I think it's because of the 150 fucking friend requests and the 150 fucking messages and all this shit. Just my phone just constantly zit, 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 like going off, notification. And I think it's shot my fucking battery. And I don't see any of them stepping up and being like, hey, we're sorry we ruined your battery. We're sorry we ruined your phone. We're going to fix it for you. And so, like, I'm just like, whew, I'm mad about it. And so I've been talking to Nomon about it, giving him a heads up, because we talk every day and we're kind of like in this relationship, but we're not, because we're not like exclusive, and we're not. And that's the thing too, is even earlier today when I was talking to him, I was like, who are you? Like, you sound just like my husband, and y'all don't know who the fuck y'all are, because they're so busy trying to scam, basically. Whatever they're trying to scam, or whatever they're lying about, or whatever their brain tells them that they believe, but then they don't. It's like dealing with 2 different people up here or something. And it's like, who are you? What do you want? And what are you willing to do to have it? set something in stone other than your basics that are given to you by the world, which is like your name and your birthday and shit like that. Like, know something about your damn self that you fucking like. And that you're fucking willing to like for the rest of your life and shit like that. And that's the thing even too, is he's like, I love you and all this crap. And I'm just like, And I'm thinking to myself, you probably don't even know my pets' names. And I mentioned to him the other day about how he didn't remember my last name because he wrote me about that shit. And then he wrote me today and told me that he knew it. So I'm like, okay, so were you lying to me just a few days ago? Like, is that how you joke about things? And I remember even having that conversation with my husband. I was like, so are you joking when you say shit like that? Because I don't get that joke. I'm not going to sit there and be like, hey, what's your favorite color after you just told me, a week ago, and I've told you that I'm in love with you, and then we just sit there one day and stone cold, face and be like, hey, what's your favorite color? Like, I'm not going to do that to you. Like, that's my job to fucking know that and remember that, like that, that's something personal about you, and stuff like that. But, anyways. So Dylan with Nomon, he wrote, when he was listing off who he is, that he's single. So when he wrote that, I was like, there we go. That's one thing that I needed to hear from you. I needed that clarification. Okay, you're single, yet you're talking to me like you love me and you're gonna marry me. That right there is a bad sign, bucko. Like, you're talking to me about fucking marriage and you're sitting here saying you're single. And then I told him that my phone's messing up all this time, all this, like, past few days or week or whatever. I'm like, my battery's not holding a charge. My battery's dying. My phone's dying. This and that. And he's like, okay, basically. And he acts like he don't give a shit, basically. And that's another telltale sign that my husband had. I tell him something repetitively. I'm sick. I don't feel good. And he'd just be like, hope you feel better. And then he'd just go on talking about himself. Like, at least Honest, or Adam, if I would have got a hold of him back in the day, but Honest, whenever I told him, like, Honest don't have to be nice to me right now. He could be a complete and total dickbag to me right now if he wanted to. Like, it's his option. And I told him I was sick the other day, and he's like, oh, I hope you feel better. And then I sent him, like, this GIF of, what is it? It's Donkey off of Shrek, and it's like, I need a hug. And then he sent this one back, and it's just a hug, And I was like, oh, and he didn't have to do that, Like, he don't have to be nice to me, There's nothing inside of him that has to be nice to me. He's choosing to be nice to me because he knows how to be civil, basically. And I guess that's what it is, like dealing with Nomon and my ex-husband, is they don't know how to do that. They just, oh, sorry that you're sick. And then they're like, hey, I stumped my big toe today, and you're just like, if I had a frying pan right now, I would beat your ass with it, like. It just makes me so mad. And if other people like that and they're okay with that type of mentality and stuff like that, then there's you two guys, America, that you can go after, or, well, not America, but in the world that people can go after that are like that. I don't want them. I'm done. I don't want them. So anyways, I've been telling him that my phone's fucked up, and my phone was at 10%. And me and him was really in the middle of, like, a good conversation. Kinda, I felt like. And the same thing used to happen with me and my husband. We'd be in the middle of a good conversation. And then, like, I would just be like, oh, I gotta pee, and I'd hop up and run to pee. And then I'd come back. And then he'd be like, why'd you have to go when we was having such a good conversation, And I'm like, I had to pee. I came back. I'm willing to still have the conversation with you. I had to pee. Can I pee? Like, damn, And he's like, well, yeah, but I feel like you just, like you just don't want to have the conversation with me, and that's why you ran off the way that you did. No, I've been sitting here holding my pee for the past 15 minutes, waiting on you to get done, and you just kept going and going and going and going and going and going and talking, and so I I had to sit here and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. And then I couldn't wait no more. And so I was just like, hey, honey, I love you, but I gotta pee. And then I went and peed and I come back and now you're sitting here crying. And it's my fault. Do you hear yourself? Like, damn. And so anyways, that's what Nomon did to me. I was like, hey, I gotta let you go. My phone's fixing to die. And so I cut my phone off and I tried to let it charge for an hour. It charged maybe 10-15%. So it's like a 25%. Cut my phone on. And I have the message that says, see, or something like that. And it's like, always, you have to go whenever, we're having a good conversation and you say TTYL, talk to you later. And I just blocked him after that. I was like, fuck you. I'm done. And like, even though he can still talk to me on my other Facebook, he will never be back on my other one. I'm sorry. I'm done. I can't deal with shitty ass people like that. I can't deal with it. And in all honesty, because of Honest writing me what he did all those weeks ago, being like, I know I no longer care about you. And that right there, throwing up a bunch of shit, I come within a hair of blocking him from that Facebook today. But then I was like, but he makes me feel good, for the most part. He, and I'm like, and that's what I need in my life. I need people around me that make me feel good. I don't need people around me trying to guilt trip me because my fucking phone battery's dying. But anyways, I gotta end this video here because if I don't, I'm gonna end up losing it. So I hope everybody's doing good. Keep putting your best foot forward. Take care, and I'll catch you later. Bye.